Hey fam, how are you, my beautiful people? I hope you well and keeping warm. It's still cold, even though it's spring, but hey, we are here. Molweni, Sanbonan, Dumelang, Goeienaand, good evening. Yeah, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anotando Molosi, as you may all be aware, or maybe as you can see the name of the channel. Welcome back, and for those who are returning, if it's your first time, we are happy to have you here. And if you are also happy with what you're going to hear from here and it helps you in some way, please don't forget to join the film and hit that subscribe button. And yeah, let's have fun, let's learn, let's grow together. Yeah, okay. I'm actually smiling today. It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera, so I've been smiling way too ever since, but I'm happy to be back. There are a lot of things that I want to talk about. I've got an injury here, so now I don't even know how to sit, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. There are a lot of things that I want to talk about, but yeah, when the time is right, I hope I'll definitely talk about them, because my only problem is the time. So most of my videos, I'm recording them at night, or let me rather say in the afternoon, but at night because it's dark outside. So yeah, today we are talking about I've been thinking about this topic until a very good friend of mine asked me to do a video on the best use of credit card. So I've been thinking whether I'm gonna call it advantages and disadvantages of using a credit card, or whether I'm gonna call it what is the importance of having a credit card, or is it a good thing or a bad thing to have a credit card. And until she gave me a topic, which is a best use of a credit card. So today we're talking about that. Okay, maybe let me start with this. Is credit card, or is having a credit card, a bad thing or a good thing? Let's just think about it. And before I respond, no offense, but it can be both. It can either be good. It all depends on you. Maybe let me say this. I'm not saying it to offend anyone. Please don't take offense. Maybe a credit card is not a problem. Maybe you are the problem, right? Why am I saying that? Why am I talking like that? A credit card can be a good thing and a very good thing, but a credit card can also be a bad thing. Also, it all depends on how you use it, and it depends on how much discipline do you have, especially when it comes to your finances. I've always had a healthy relationship with my money. But then knowledge is power, guys. That is so true. Today when I'm sitting, I'm just thinking that if I knew, which is why I'm actually doing these videos, I'm very passionate about my finances, and I'm very passionate about financial literacy. And I'm just thinking the reason why I've decided to start this hobby, recording these videos, especially talking about finances and my experiences, because I feel like if I knew what I know today, I would have been very far in my life. That's mostly when it comes to finances, because today we're talking about finances. So I would have been very far, you know. Okay, so a credit card, let's get back to it before I get off track. A credit card, it depends on you. Like I said, maybe a credit card is not a problem. Maybe the way you use it is the problem. But okay, let's get to it. I just want to tell you a bit a story about a credit card and myself. I remember when I was buying my second car, and then the finance lady at the dealership, I don't know what I wanted to pay for, and I think it was maintenance plan that I wanted to take with the car. And then she was like to me, why don't you just take a credit card? Okay, she didn't know that me and credit cards, no. It was just a no. Like, I had a beef with credit cards. I was like, me, credit card, nah, I'm not interested. I'll just pay this off, or I don't even know if I paid it off or I financed it, but okay. To cut the story short, my relationship with the credit cards, it started being I don't know, bitter, or when I started knowing about a credit card. It was a couple of years back. I remember I was still staying in George and I was still on contract. So I think just after my training, during my training, I used some of my money to do some renovations for my mom back at home. So now, I think there was something that was short. I can't actually remember the full details. It's a couple of years back. So I was short, I think I was short of 10 grand. So I decided, okay, you know what? Let me go and get some money. I don't know. I think I'm one person who, I don't like credit. I don't like debt. Let me put it that way, not credit. I don't like debt. So I've always hated debt my whole life. I was like, nope. When it comes to me having to borrow something, borrow money, having a credit card, it was always a no for me. So this one time, I went to, I think it was Standard Bank. I'm mentioning their name now because they're actually my favorite bank, and I'll say why at the end. And they're not financing this video, guys. No one is financing me. I'm doing these videos just because I'm so passionate about this. I think I can help a lot of people who are like me a few years back when I didn't know what I know now. So I went to Standard Bank. I got the credit card for 10 grand, and honestly, guys, I'll speak about it whenever. The credit card, there's two percentages that you need to know: the interest rate and the minimum payment. So for me, I didn't know the difference. I was just told that no, you just pay 3% of it on a monthly basis, and that is 300 rands at the time. I was like, oh, 300, no, it's fine, I can manage. And then I paid this credit card, guys, for like, I think it was more than a year. I've been paying this 300 rands. And at the time, I didn't have like, I was still on contract, so I didn't even have like more access to other banking facilities, like having a banker, and I'm not even sure if they were even emailing the statement. I don't know, but I remember going to the bank, I think after a year. So I wanted the statement on the credit card that I'm paying, because now what I did, I used the whole money, like the whole amount, because I actually needed it. So that was the first mistake that I made. So I kept paying these 300 rands every month. So I went to the bank and I asked them for the statement. I want to see how much is left, because I just hate debt, guys. I hate them so much. So I hated this thing that has to deduct my money every month. So I just went to the bank. So I get here, the lady who was assisting me, I'm not sure if it was a lady, but I think so. And then she was telling me that I owe, I think it was 9.5 something. I'm telling you that I've been paying for over a year, and I'm paying 300 rands a month. And when I'm going to check now how much is left so that I can settle it, because I'm the one who hates debt, guess what? I'm still left with 9,500 and some odds. So all this time, I only paid down from the capital debt 400 and something, and I'm paying 300 rands a month. Like, something didn't balance for me, and I was like, no ways. Okay, but to cut the story short, and then I was like, no, I have to finish this thing. I didn't even know at the time that for people that are actually in debt, you can actually, let's say you have 2,000 rent, you can go and pay that and ask your credit card, I don't know, originator, the bank, to say, okay, reduce that amount to like 8,000 in that case of the 10,000. But I didn't know all that back then. So I'm going there, and then I'm like, no. So I get out of Standard Bank. I'm like, I need to do something. I can't be paying so much, and then I'm still left with so much. That means I'm gonna pay this thing for years. So I actually closed it off, and then I was like, no credit cards for me. It was just a no. Until until not so long ago, when I knew that actually I need a credit card. Now I even went to increase my limit on the credit card because, wow, I know better, hey? Okay. So knowledge is power, guys. Okay, so now this lady, the finance lady at the dealership, when she was suggesting this, that I must take a credit card, I was like, girl, I don't do credit cards, because I honestly didn't know. So yeah, but yeah. But today I'm actually sitting here to tell you what are the advantages of having a credit card. Wow. But let's get to it. One, I'm just gonna mention three, like how you can use a credit card or what are the advantages of it. One, let's say you need a quick cash, but you must be very disciplined, guys, because if you're not disciplined, just don't even finish this video. With credit card is just not for you. But get one day you might be disciplined, so you can just continue listening and watching. One, you must you can leverage that cash that you don't have using the bank's money for free. So a credit card, it has an interest-free period. I think it ranges between 45 to 55 days for the ones that have inquired. But obviously you need to ask questions when you go to the bank, and when you speak to your banker, or when you go to the bank and request a credit card, you need to ask them, how many days do you have? And probably they will tell you. But when you don't know, you don't know. Even if the salesperson tells you that you're not really interested, you just want the money. Okay, so it's 45 to 55 days interest free. So let's use 55 days because most of them is 55 days interest free. So it means that you can take this credit card and use this amount that is in the credit card, and they won't charge you interest on that for at least 55 days. Only if you return the money. Because you know what, the bad thing about that, so you can actually, if you need quick cash, if you have a credit card, you can take that money and go and swipe somewhere, and then you will have a cash. And then once you have the money, let's say you're gonna have money at the end of the month, you just take that money, the whole amount that you used, and then you put it back to your credit card, and you won't be charged any interest. The nice thing, especially about my credit card, I can use my credit card. The nice thing about it, I don't even pay admin fees on a monthly basis. So that's why I'm keeping it, because if you can see it, it's mostly full most of the time. But then I'm just using it actually as my card. You will never see me swiping with my debit card, buying groceries with my debit card. You'll never see me even buying petrol with my debit card. No, I don't. Which leads me to the next point, or next advantages of credit cards. When you're using a credit card, you get a lot of benefits. Not so long ago, I was hearing people saying petrol going up, petrol this, petrol that. You know what? With my credit card, I'm actually saving that to go home on holidays, and I'm gonna go to Eastern Cape and come back to Cape Town using my points on the accounts that I'm getting from using the Standard Bank credit card. I'm actually sitting, I think, at about 3,000 rands on my accounts, so that's like full tank going home and full tank coming back. So I'll actually go home for free. Why? Because I'm using a credit card, and in that credit card, I'm telling you, I've paid zero interest. I've never paid interest. I've had my card now for more than a year, I think, but I'm using it. My friends will know if you go out to have lunch. Some people might even think I don't have money, and I don't care. I don't have to explain myself, but I'm using my credit card because I know what are the benefits, you know. So what I'm doing, I'm actually transferring the money into the credit card. So I can swipe, but I need to transfer that money back before it actually accumulates interest, and then I will be charged. So yeah. And then that's number two. You get a lot of benefits. I know for people who likes to travel, you even on some credit cards, but you need to ask the questions, guys, which is one most important thing that you need to do for any service provider, because they might not be the same. You're gonna have Standard Bank, you're gonna have all the other banks, Netbank, and all of them. You need, the most important thing, if you decide to get a credit card, you must ask the questions. You must ask them, what benefits do you have with using that credit card, and ask them what options and on what conditions can you waiver the monthly service fees. Because if you're gonna keep that credit card and then you're gonna pay monthly service fees, it's normally 60 rand, 30 rands, it depends. But also, if you don't want to pay them, you must ask the details or the conditions on when you cannot. Okay, so that's number two, name that you get benefits. Number three, it helps you to boost your credit score. I said this, I think, on one of my other videos, that some of us are not rich yet. So in order for you to have access to the things that you want, meaning that if you want a house through the bond, then you need to have access to credit in order for you to be able to get those things. Otherwise, you would take like decades trying to save to buy a million rands house, and by the time you have that million, that house will be like 3 million rands. We all know that the property value goes up. So yeah, so that's number three. It builds your credit score. So you need to have a good credit score in order for the banks to approve you when you need money to purchase a house or to purchase a car. So those are the three things that I want to mention for today about the credit card. That one, you get 45 to 55 days interest-free period, meaning that you can use that money for free, and as long as you return it within that period. And then number two, you get a lot of benefits with the credit cards. You get points that get converted to money. Like I said, I have now 3,000 rands in my credit cards points that I can use. You can go and convert it, and then you use that money for petrol or whatever. Number three, it helps you build your credit score. So those are the three key points that I want to talk about today. But like I said, the credit card is good if you can behave yourself. If you have the needed discipline, then a credit card is good. But if you're not disciplined, then a credit card is not for you. It's not good for you. Just don't go for it. Because you know why? It can build your credit score, or it can destroy it. So it's as good as the way you behave. So please, guys, if you're not disciplined when it comes to finances, just don't have a credit card. Secondly, you must always ask the questions. I know when you don't know, you can't ask, but you must always ask as much as you can. Number 3, you must always read terms and conditions, especially when it comes to benefits. After watching this video, now you know what you need to ask. You need to ask them what benefits do they offer, and what is the interest rate, because people don't ask that. You are just told that you can pay 3% minimum or 5% minimum every month, but then you don't actually ask how much is the interest rate that I'll be paying, because portion of that money that you're paying, most of it goes to the interest. So it's so important to know how much is your interest and where you can to negotiate for that interest to go down. I hope it helps, and have a great evening, my people. So yeah, it's okay to use a credit card, but you need to make sure that you pay the money back. Otherwise, if you don't, you'll find yourself in debt, and that's what we don't want here. We don't do debt here. We don't do bad debt here. Hey, we do good debt only. And then you must always have the required discipline. Okay, so now we're coming to the don'ts. Like don't do it. 1, don't take a credit card if you're not gonna pay back the money, because it's gonna damage your credit score. 2, don't withdraw cash from an ATM using a credit card. There are extremely high finance charges. Number 3, don't transfer money or pay people from your credit card like that, sending money to people's account numbers. Don't do it. There are extremely high finance charges for those things. If you get to a place where they don't swipe, rather use a debit card. Mostly use your credit card. In fact, use your credit card just to swipe. Okay? I hope it makes sense.